images of the vulnerable populations social workers service and the issues these populations face are too familiar to the profession. The most daunting issue at hand is that our profession is in peril. We currently have a lack of social workers in an ever-growing profession. Meeting our profession's purpose of enhancing human well-being has become a struggle. Factors like unsafe working conditions and high caseloads, as well as high burnout rates, are causing the loss of current social workers and keeping people from entering the field. The Dorothy I. Height and Whitney M. Young Jr. Social Work Reinvestment Act is the most comprehensive piece of federal legislation ever aimed at workforce improvement in our profession. This act will specifically respond to the areas of retention, recruitment, and research.
So I think the Social Work Reinvestment Act really draws people's attention to things that maybe we've been talking about for some time, but haven't necessarily addressed. My hope is that social workers will begin to self-advocate, just like we tell and teach our clients to do, but advocate for ourselves. And I think this is one way that we can do that, by standing behind the Social Work Reinvestment Act and allowing our profession to move forward and to gain the respect that I think we deserve as social workers and professionals. Training. Please support the Dorothy Height and Whitney Young Jr. Social Work Reinvestment Act. It's time for us as social workers to stand up and have our voice be heard. Thank you.
The historical times of the Depression in the 30s, the war on poverty, and the civil rights movement in the 60s brought upon extremely complex social and economic times. The need for social workers was apparent. Therefore, monumental investments were made into the profession. Again, we are facing increasingly complex social and economic times. With the spiraling downwards economy, the soon-to-be influx of returning soldiers from abroad, and the baby boomer generation entering into later adulthood are just to name a few. The need for reinvestment must be made to meet the demands of the times. The Social Work Reinvestment Act is the most comprehensive piece of federal legislation ever aimed at workforce improvements in our profession. Therefore, please help us and push for the Social Work Reinvestment Act. Push for social work, push for reinvestment.
I am a social worker.
Soy una trabajadora social.
We are social workers.
I'm a social worker.
I am a social worker.
Soy trabajadora social.
We are
Social workers.
I'm a social worker.